Welcome to another episode of Politics and Wellness. I am your host, Captivating Christian, and of course, you wonderful, beautiful people are my co-hosts for this evening. And I can't find my little hand clappy thingy, so we're just gonna act like everybody's just getting a little applause. Great. And it's Tuesday, and of course, what do we do every Tuesday? But talk about politics, news, and stuff that's going on in these YouTube streets. Let me know when you're ready, Brother Nate, so we can get this party started. All right, I saw it that time. So, Brother Nate gets up here. Let's. Hey, what's going on, sir?
Hey, good evening. Hey, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well.
Hope everybody is well. Let's do this quick rundown real quick of everybody in the room thus far. What's going on, James Smith? How are you? Patty Duke, always a pleasure.
Patty.
Always great to be in the room. Auntie Melissa, how are you? Nice to see you. Always a pleasure to see you.
Hey, Melissa. Hey, girl, how you doing?
To hang out with us and, listen to the foolery that we do.
And the bullshit.
Yes.
And yes, it has been a shitty week.
It's been a smelly week. A lot of shit has been thrown around in people's faces. Happy New Year to you, Mr. Smith. Nice to see you. And Happy New Year to anyone new coming into the room. Of course, we are in this this is half the month already through. And it's off to a bumpy start.
Were they saving it? This was supposed to happen during the Christmas holiday.
Right. This was supposed to happen before the new year embarked upon us. But it seems like people said, forget that. I'm bringing this. I'm lugging all this luggage into 2023. So people had tons of bags. So I guess they were like Miss Devereaux told me, I'm not going to sleep with my luggage. I'm putting my luggage in a different room. So they just lugged all that shit with them. So there's so much to talk about. So little time.
She had popcorn. She had popcorn and a blunt. That's what Melissa had. Hey, girl, I don't blame you.
And a drink because it's a lot.
You have to sit back, roll up.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Take a sip.
Just try to figure it out yourself because it's a lot of mess. And some people claim to have come back that never left. And some people may be coming back who have left. So this will be an interesting next couple of months. So we'll get all into that and some other things. But of course, as usual, this won't stop the train that, of course, we're on because, of course, we do this every Tuesday. So without further ado, let's get into some news first that we all can use. All right.
Patty, you blissfully ignorant. Yes, but it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to do.
Yeah, it is. It really is kind of hard to do.
It finds you. It finds
you. It does find it. It really does find you. But what I do so I don't get too engulfed in it, I don't really follow the story that hard. Like I know little bits and pieces enough to say, well, this don't sound right. That kind of sort of don't, and this and that. But as far as like down to the like following down the rabbit hole, like no, you can't. That's too invested in things that one could get some people into a lot of trouble. Other things were in which, people have a lot more other things to concern themselves with than this. People got people to pay. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, like people have people to pay and they're so busy throwing things around to see what sticks that I find it surprising. Like you haven't learned your lesson with all that you're dealing with, but apparently not. I don't know what to say. But getting to some other news, Black Lives Matter co-founder's cousin was killed in a police incident. When I first read the story, of course, everybody was saying that it was a co-founder founder of the Black Lives Matter movement, but come to find out it was the person's cousin, who is an English teacher, was detained by the police and tasered pretty much to death. Um, that I don't even know what else to say. One, I'm so tired of these stories, and it's past unfortunate that we always have these situations, and then we want to talk about training, and we want to talk about so and so not complying, and I'm at this point where what is compliance?
Yeah.
What is compliance? If the person was in an accident and called the police,
Mm-hmm.
there was an accident incident which he was involved in, and the police were called, and even in the video, there's like words exchanged, and he's saying he's going to make a call, and the police officer's like, "No, get down." He gets down, does that, then he says he needs to do something else. And yes, it seems kind of frantic, and it kind of all doesn't go together. But then you also have to think too, if somebody's in an accident or in a situation, would you be very much on the up and up as far as the police officers telling you, "Hey, do this, do that, do this, do that"? You're compliant, but you still kind of focused on whatever else that you're dealing with. So I don't know. I'm at a loss of trying to make this make sense because it shouldn't. it because it shouldn't happen. Again, we just talked about the story last week of having most of the killings of Black and brown people, 25%, be by the hands of police officers. And us being only about 13% of a population, 25% is a big number. So I'm just,
Yeah. Now the follow up on that is they did say they found some narcotics in his system, but
okay.
it goes back to in police training. And I also thought that when they train these police officers with these tasers, that they have to be tased themselves. That that officer was excessive.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're tasing somebody and they're not, and they're still able to get up and do all that, you kind of figure there something else is going on.
Right.
That person's on something.
Mm-hmm.
But that should not have ended that way.
Right. But and again, even with being on something, because that seems to be like the scapegoat thing too. You remember George Floyd's situation? It was, oh well, he was on something. Well, that doesn't excuse
That's right.
a murder. That doesn't excuse you taking lethal force to subdue someone, and
But
let alone
that's their loophole, though.
right. But that's where
they
I was
usually get
alluding
away
to.
with it because they
But
can
that is always
throw
the
that
get
out
out
there.
card to the reason why the situation escalated. Oh, he was on something. Okay, but there are plenty of people that have been on something that you either obtain them, then take them to a detox center, whatever, so they can get it out their system, and then you continue with the preparations to have them arrested and so on and so forth. Like I don't see where we go from this happening to complete and utter this person is no longer with us. I can see that when there is no concern, when there is no, we don't matter, we're not a person, our lives don't matter. I see that when you're dealing in situations where 1 minute the person's here, the next minute, due to a small infraction, the person is no longer here, regardless of what they may have in their system. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Now, I am curious to hear about with a follow up with his class.
Mm.
The children. I
The children.
wonder,
Yes.
the effects and how are they dealing with that? Explaining to these children that what they see on TV is actually happening to them because they're affected in real life.
Right. This is someone that they see, for an entire year, every day, and to no longer see him, it's impactful. So I don't know.
Said church mouse. Hey, church mouse, how you doing? He said before George Floyd, the same. happen. I'm sure it has happened to a lot of people.
Yeah,
It's just
very
that
true.
you just don't get to hear about it. The only reason why you heard about that is his affiliation with his cousin.
Right,
That's the
I'm
only reason
sure.
why.
And my stuff go. All right, here we go. All right. So, in other news, and prayers to the family, of course.
Hmm. And
So,
to to his students.
and to his students, right, and to his kids. You know, like
Mhm.
they're you know, as educators, those children become your kids. You know, and you care for them and look out for them just as a parent would. So, I'm sure that a lot of those children are hurting. And so we definitely want to keep the children in our prayers. And so crazy. And in other news, California County reelects a former Oath Keeper as sheriff. Uh, Basically, this clown was involved in the January 6th whole white privilege, white tear situation, Crimea River.
He's
And
a patriot.
Yeah, right. And he's such a patriot that you defaulted on your own government to do what? Um, I really think these people thought they were going to be like in the history books, like as a George Washington or whatever else.
Sailing across the Delaware.
Yeah, just like as they stand or take a Nancy Pelosi's podium thing, and think they were doing something to further democracy. Absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, he was sworn in for his second term as sheriff from the Riverside County in California, despite his controversial and extra conservative past and previous lawsuits pertaining to different situations. In this, I really don't understand how we haven't come to grips that these mofos don't care. They really don't care. And they're not held accountable for their actions. Now, I don't know, you know, not to throw it out there, but I'll put it out there anyway. I don't know if because they're white and right that this is a thing that has not affected them, or if it's something else. Because I fully don't believe that it's just them being conservative or extra conservative that has shielded them from the actual persecution that anybody else would get. I really think it's, you know, white privilege at its best. That, you know, white folks don't like to really throw the hammer at other white folks who are doing despicable things unless it is like utterly egregious, like murders, serial murders, not just one, but like serial murders or something that makes them go, oh, I can't believe one of us did that. It's like, okay, we gotta fight for that. We gotta go against that. But anything else, it's like, yeah, it's not really a big deal. Like nobody really got hurt, let alone people did die on January 6th. So I don't know. I don't know. Any thoughts on that, Nate?
No.
Yeah,
at
that's what
least we know at least we know where he is.
yeah, right.
You know,
But
that's a good thing. You
but
know, he's in the
as
public eye.
but even as you know, innovative, and I'll say innovative, as California has become with all of these gubernatorial legislations to kind of push forth towards reparations and other things of that nature, do know that there's pockets of support for
Oh,
Trumpville everywhere. Excuse me.
that's everywhere.
So yeah,
The
something
infection
to
is real.
yeah,
The
very
infection
true,
is
very
real.
true.
I want to
All right.
answer a question real quick.
Okay, sure.
Church Mouse. Um, uh, Church Mouse wrote, I don't have a son, so I wouldn't know how to teach a male what to do in these situations. It's kind of hard because
Yeah.
the way I was taught and the way I taught my son was to don't give him any reason. Just go ahead and go with him. If you get arrested for whatever, don't say anything.
Right.
Because your mouth will incriminate you every time.
Right.
If you know when you know when you're doing something you had no business doing in the first place, just don't say anything. and
Right.
we'll handle it from there. Then that way, somebody knows where you are because
Yeah.
you kind of shut when and always let somebody know, I'm going here, I'm going there, that
Right.
type of
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
Because when people know that somebody else is expecting them or they know their whereabouts, things
Mm.
kind of shut down a little bit. They kind of control themselves a lot more because it's not an
Right.
isolated incident where they can lie on you and say, well, he was out there copping something and
Right.
he pulled out a gun. It's just, don't argue with them.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, that was a big one for me.
that's hard. That's hard.
That
I mean, you
that
can
was
shut them because see the way we
what
argue.
right.
When
But
we argue, motherfucker, whatever,
that
shit,
that was
that.
always the
Now
discussion
see, Now
when
see,
I
I would
started
white
driving.
people that shit
Yeah.
because
Right.
I would code switch in the heartbeat. Excuse me, are we having
When
a
I started
problem?
driving, it was like, don't be because you know how you could be.
Don't be
So
combative because you
yeah.
because you get hot. You're not talking to the bro on the street just because it's a black person in the uniform. They're
Right.
blue, okay?
Right.
They're
Right.
blue. They don't see well, they see black and white when they pick
Right.
your ass up,
Yeah.
but you
Yeah.
can't discuss it with them in that same manner.
Mhm.
So it's best just to keep it low key, learn to assess, and see that's another thing. Young people haven't been around enough to learn how to read people
Mhm.
and how they
Right.
come off.
Yeah.
So you're not talking to your peers,
Right.
especially if you're talking to somebody older that, but I would white people that shit in a heartbeat. Excuse me? Because I would excuse me, could you repeat yourself?
Yeah.
That type of thing. Now, if I did some shit, which was very, very, very rare, I did some shit, then I would just go ahead and own up to it. Yep, I sure did.
Mm.
Because the objective is to let somebody else know where you are and where you're going. So it's kind of hard. But nowadays, these a lot of these officers are so terrified in their jobs, and they look at us,
Mhm.
and I'm saying us as the not necessarily black, brown, but just the
Right.
public as enemies.
Yeah. That
So
part is true.
you just have to really play it by ear. It's just pretty much if you don't have anything, if you're going to think you're going to argue, just don't say anything. Just
Mm.
write me the ticket or take me in. Because we don't have to do all this shit right here.
Yeah.
Because the other part is you don't know what's going to happen to you because you're
Right.
actually under their control.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
And then the story can be the narrative, so to speak, can be changed,
mm,
and it could uh, end up in a different situation. Um,
mhm.
so I don't know. But then I also feel like we shouldn't have to uh, put all these safety guards on our young people. These white counterparts do not have these same discussions with their children. Oh,
Mhm.
don't say this. Oh, don't talk like this. Oh, you can't look them in the face. You keep your head down.
Yeah,
You do
now
it's
see, my
just
my
like
now my father came from that generation, "Don't look at him in the eye,"
right,
that type of thing, and I'm like, "For
right,
what?" I didn't understand, but that was
right.
because of the era that he lived in.
Mhm.
You
Yes.
couldn't look at them in their face. But
Yeah,
also have your kids and your young people talk to them a contingent plan,
yeah.
like with your cell phone.
Mhm,
I can tell my cell phone, to start recording, video
mhm.
record, and it just
Right,
automatically video records, that type
yeah.
of thing. And
It's
it's
an
not
app that you can download as well that will, record. I can't think of it
mhm,
right off the top of my head, but I will, when I get it, I will put it in my community wall. But there is an app that you can download that will be able to record information for you, and it also has resources in regards to public defenders or anything of that nature, and
mhm,
regarding to situations where you might end up um, being uh, obtained by the police
mhm.
for whatever reason.
And I wouldn't tell them that I'm recording.
Right,
You should
right,
just assume that
right.
I'm recording because I have a
Just
phone.
assume. Yep, yep. Pretty much. Uh, yeah. So,
Yeah,
and
good
then
evening,
two,
everybody coming in.
yes. Hey, everybody. I'm sorry, I don't see the chat, but and then two, they have these video camera things. Get them for your car. Get them for your
Okay.
car, not only, for, God forbid, an accident or anything, but for your own personal safety.
Yeah.
So, when you're pulled over, there's other recordings. Not only is there your cell phone, but there's the recording in your car.
No,
That they
use an old. You can use an old cell phone.
Well, yeah, that too,
Just
but
use an old cell phone. If you ain't got the
Mhm.
money to spend $50 for the one on your
Not even
mirror,
50 bucks, they're like $20.
they're $20 now. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, but it's basically doing the same thing. If you put the
Yeah,
phone,
but I mean, it is. That's true.
you put the phone in. I would, the only thing I would do is get a larger SD card for
Right.
storage,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You definitely,
and
because you would have to keep, refreshing that and,
hmm
putting it in the downloader and,
that's right. And know your
refreshing it.
rights. Definitely
Yeah.
know your rights.
Yeah, and that's first and foremost, like, know your rights. You don't have to, put it in their face in a way to make them feel like, "Oh, oh, you being a smart ass," but know your rights so that way when they come to you and they try to, tell you what you're doing. I never forget, I just saw a clip, and I seen it once before, but I just seen it recently. Again, there was a Chicago man riding his horse, uh, down the it wasn't a highway, per se. It was what we would call like a bypass, which is almost like a highway, but it's not. And the police officer really like clipped the horse to make him stop. And he's like, "What are you doing? You hurt my horse." He's like,
Yeah,
"You're not supposed to be
that's a two
riding a
thousand.
horse,
That's a two
huh?
thousand pound. That's a 2,000 pound animal.
Right, animal. Like you're not supposed to be riding on the highway." He was like, "I can ride this horse on this highway and I'm going to work." Literally, the sergeant had to come to basically tell them he was in his rights to do
Mhm.
what he was doing. He was like, "I told you." He was like, "And if my horse has to be put down or put away because
That's
his
right.
leg is broke, I'm
Mhm.
suing the department."
Not only that, he
And
coulda killed that guy. That
that's
horse
what he
coulda
said.
rolled on
Yeah, that's
that
what he
guy.
said. That's what he told him. He was
It'd
like,
be
"You
a
could have
big
killed
ass
me and
piece of
my
meat
horse."
on him.
And that's it. So yeah, definitely know your rights, because these police officers, they don't even know, which is unfortunate. How could you be something that you're enforcing and you
Mhm.
barely know it? But it is true. A lot of them don't know their laws. And speaking of someone who doesn't know the law, the Trump organization, uh, was fined $1.6 million, which is the maximum possible penalty that they will receive due to their wrongdoings with their tax filings and all these other schemes and scams that they've been pulling. Why I don't feel no type of way about the Trump organization having to pay 1.6 million is because people have already donated to this, Trump, uh, ticket by, supporting the Republican Party because they have been paying Trump's bills. So, granted, yeah, he's getting served. Justice is getting served in some way, but at the same time, yeah, here we go again with the rich kind of getting the slap on the wrist, while other people would actually be in jail right about now for the same kind of, bull crap. But any, thoughts on this, Nate, before I
No, but
move on?
I also heard that looking into Trump's taxes,
Mhm.
they also found that Melania had filed joint with him, so she'll get to share in whatever his downfall is.
Oh yeah, did you hear that? Yeah, I did hear that too. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
how's
think about filing joint. It ain't always a good thing.
it ain't always a good thing, right? You think you trying to save money or trying to scheme off the top, and it's like, no, you can go down for it too. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm pretty sure it's gonna be much of nothing.
Nothing. Yeah,
Yeah,
just a distraction.
that's all. That's all. So you can be talking about something else. And it's speaking of something else, the Treasury Secretary has warned that the U.S. could default on its debts as soon as June. I'm
Mm,
thinking June is a little too far off because you do know we have a new Congress and they are in charge of paying the debt.
mhm.
These people could barely peak a speaker. Do you
I was
think
getting
that
ready to say they're already showing their ass. You know it's
I
going to be dysfunctional.
showing their ass? They are walking around bare assed on the floor.
Just
Okay,
just be
um,
careful who you show your ass to.
that's it. just showing their ass. I mean, to add to what they possibly could be doing, it's what they're already doing, and I'll get into that story a little later. They're removing powers from particular people uh, on the Congress floor, so
Yeah.
they are doing some damage. But anyway, yeah.
Hey, Queen
So
Diva, how you doing, darling? Good to
hey,
see
what's
you.
going on, everybody? Hey, Queen Diva, nice to see you. Sorry, I'm not reading the chat. Kind of just running through this. So just be mindful that do note that the Treasury Department has already claimed that uh, we should be looking for a default. So prepare for
Hold on
the
to your
tight
pennies.
purse strings. Okay, sip your, as my mother would say, sip on it. Just take small sips because it's about to get real tight pretty soon. And it may be sooner than June. I'm just saying
Yeah.
that because I know Congress holds the purse strings of a lot of the budgeting that is given not only to the different states but to the government itself to help the government run. And I can just see them being petty as hell and fighting over this, fighting over that, saying no to this, saying no to that, and going back and forth, just to kind of make the Biden administration look bad, but at the same time, they're gonna wind up shooting themselves in the face.
Oh, but see, they don't care because they can walk away from it.
Exactly.
They can walk away from it,
That
and
was
just the damage that they'll do.
That's it. That's it. Because that's all they care about. It's not even really about safeguarding anything. It's about, excuse me, but fucking it up. Like it's not about saving or preserving anything. It's about throwing a grenade to it and blowing it all up. That way, if I can't have it, nobody can have it. And that's just what they're doing. I mean, anytime you have the speaker, quote unquote, of this house, and there's somebody who literally lied about everything and got elected into Congress, and you haven't said anything but, oh, I didn't know anything about that. Oh, I haven't really looked into that. Oh, I didn't hear that. What? You're the leader of the party. How do you not know these things? No, you know, but you don't give a shit because if he goes, you lose a vote. So you're trying to maintain and hold on to every vote you can, whether it's a lie or not. But I mean, again, there's nothing
His whole career is a lie.
right? That's what I'm saying.
Anything
There's nothing unusual. You had a person sitting in the White House for 4 years that was a complete lie. So this again is nothing usual. It's just unusual. It's just an average person who is able to kind of play that role and get that. And again, this is where that kind of privilege of whiteness or almost whiteness kind of plays into the field, because here this Latinx person, right, who kind
we don't know what he is. What is
right.
he? He's Jewish, black, gay. I don't know. What is he?
But I don't know either. But it's someone that can be palatable in like white circles. You know what I'm saying? That could be like, well, we can take him because he looks kind of white. He looks like, he looks like he'd be part of us. That he was able to do all these things, Ponzi scheme these people out of this money, take the same money that he was stealing from folks, run a campaign, fund himself. Nobody asked no questions. Nobody vetted him once. Nobody batted an eyelash at all. And then the stories that people knew or heard about him as he was running, they sat on it all the way up until when they about to swear in the new Congress. Then all of a sudden, now we want to start talking about how he's a phony. Get the hell out of here. So I really don't get these people. Like I don't get it. I really don't.
Yeah. Patty Duke was right. The Republicans are going to destroy the country. The enemy is from within.
Yeah. Like that domestic terrorism is real. Like they're a party full of domestic sleepers, and they've been asleep for a while. Now they're just gonna blow the shit up. They're just gonna blow it up. And at this point, there's nothing any sane Republican can do. What can a Republican do at this point to try and save democracy, so to speak? Nothing. They're embedded in the system. It's like somebody having roaches. You see one on the wall, that's it. Where one is, there are many. So don't. You may think you got that one with that raid can. No, I don't think so. There's something behind that
Mm.
wall.
That one,
Uh,
yeah, behind that wall that took that portal
that's
and
it. They took the
where it's
portal.
transported. There he
That's
is.
it. There it goes. So yeah, it's definitely very crazy. Also, like these little Republican groups have poured millions into dark money into the U.S. trying to suppress uh, voters or voting bids. So with this, same as always, the Republicans have put a lot of money, dark money, into suppressing the vote, into suppressing a lot of other laws and amendments that would, kind of be more inclusive, uh, which is something that they normally do. This is again not anything new. They've been fighting to block federal voting laws to make voting a federal holiday where everybody gets off to vote.
Mhm.
Uh, opening up different areas so everybody can have a chance to vote instead of kind of making it further away, smaller districts. Just, I mean, straight destruction. This is not even anything to kind of suspect. It is happening
Mhm.
as we speak.
And it
So,
is not necessarily Republicans. It's also
no,
Democratic. You
yeah.
have a lot of them in there too. They all have the same MO.
Their agenda is the same. You know what I'm saying? Like their agenda is the same. Again, it's that same thing. Good cop, bad cop. It's like, I'm gonna be good on this side, but I'm not gonna really, kick up a fuss to really fight back on the injustice that's happening. Because at the end of the day, it kind of benefits me too, in a way. It's like, yeah, we're inclusive, but we're not really that inclusive because we don't really want a lot of people like you guys in here. So we're just gonna be
Yeah,
quiet and act
especially
like
you
we're
guys
inclusive.
we don't want in here. You don't
Right,
belong here.
right. So, we're going to act like we're all inclusive, but in reality, you're not doing anything to really make people inclusive. And I mean, granted, if we want to look at the administration as a whole, okay, great. He's hired a lot of uh, black judges to sit on federal benches. That is awesome. He's done that more than even Obama has done. Cool. But what else are you doing?
Mhm.
What else are you doing? There's a lot more that you could be doing right now that you at least have the ability and power to do. Um, so you need to be doing it and expeditiously, like right now. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't know. Uh, let's see. Yeah, and what we talked about earlier about Congress kind of changing the laws, they have banned DC Mayor Miss
Yes.
Bowser from the House floor. Uh,
Mhm.
because DC is the capital, it doesn't have any kind of representation. So, as the mayor of DC, she is spokesperson, kind of like the governor of the city of DC. Not only that, but she is in charge of the policing
Mhm.
of Congress, So if anything happens, like January 6th or what have you, she is the one in command to ensure the safety of the congressmen and women on the Hill. They kicked her off the floor.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I would remind them when January 6th happens again,
Oh,
tell them
right.
tell, tell them to figure it out.
Yeah, right, right. Really tell them to figure it out. When
Mhm.
the saltines come storming in once again,
I
we'll see
know.
who gets to run.
Extra salty
Yeah,
because
yeah. They
because
go
they
right.
the first time was just a test run.
That's
They're gonna do
it.
this.
They were the
They're gonna
light
do
ones. They were the
this.
lights. Yeah. Saltine lights. And now they coming in
Then they're
with the
gonna be hot
generic
and
brand
heavy.
with the big salt crystals because they coming in hard this time because they
The
already know
Aldi's brand.
that's it. They already know what they can do. So they coming in with the thick salt crystals on the top. They coming in to wreck
No.
shop. And yeah, somebody might get hurt in this one. You see what they did in was it Brazil? No. Um
I was gonna say, take your pick. Seems like everybody's busting off
yeah,
all
but
over the
yeah,
place.
but they see it. You know what I'm saying? It's setting an example, kind of being the example. People are following the lead. You know what I'm saying? Like uh, something like that is something that you would see, unfortunately, in some other nation. You wouldn't see that in the United States, and the fact that you've seen it clear as day in the United States, and then as far as the repercussions from that, they were slim to none. People still
Mhm.
crying, talking about some, oh, the president made me do it. I was supporting the president. You a grown ass person talking about somebody else made you do it. This is not a Flip Wilson television show.
Hmm.
This is real life. Like
You done way back for that.
yeah, I
You
did.
know your demographic, don't you? We know who Flip Wilson is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying that's why I said it.
Okay.
So the devil did. I mean, the devil could have made you do it. He looks like it, but clearly is not now, not that type of thing. But yeah, they removed Mayor Bowser's powers from her. Um, other
Didn't
places as well
I was
as
going to say
Puerto
that didn't this
Rico.
affect Puerto Rico?
Yeah,
Hmm.
Puerto Rico as well. And these are kind of little tidbits to attack at, of course, the head Grand Poobah, Donald Jackass Trump, whom has had these people on his hit list because situations have happened. Was that Hurricane Maria when she
Hmm.
did the cha cha slide all through Puerto Rico and fuck shit up, and then they were like, well, hey, mainland, help us out. And Donald Trump threw some paper towels, and then that mayor
Get some
was,
some bounty to soak it all up,
that's
right?
that's it to soak up the business. And that mayor was giving him the business while the governor was kissing
Oh yeah.
Trump's ass. Uh, Trump, of course, didn't like that, so he's always had them on hit list. So now they have the power to remove aid and all of that from Puerto Rico, and they have just removed their governor from the floor. So I don't know. I don't know. We'll see how the rest of this goes, but it's not gonna go well because it looks like it's gonna be a petty party for the next 2 years. But you get what you vote for, or you get what you don't vote for.
Vote for.
Either way, you get it.
You get what you get.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Let's see.
We thought all this shit was going to be over with Trump being not being there.
Oh hell no! They're still making. And here's I have one last good one for you. New House rules. These new Congress lawmakers get to take home tax-free $34,000 in a pay increase. Talk about a bonus. Yeah, some people only get like
Just let that sit there for a moment.
some people only get like a dollar, a
These
couple
fuckers.
cents, maybe a couple thousands of dollars as a bonus increase. These mofos is getting $34,000 tax free. But these are the most conservative, fiscally responsible lawmakers that we have, that you voted in. And as soon as they got power, it was like, oh yeah, I want to bump our salaries. Let's bump it. To do what? You couldn't even pick a speaker, let alone do anything. Your party is full of, if they're not child musters, they are undercover gay lovers. They are, I can't even tell you, a whole bunch of stuff. It's a party full of nutcases. Uh,
And
and
nuts.
yeah. Well, some of them like nuts, apparently. Uh, and it's ridiculous. It really is.
You nut bag.
Yeah.
I'm glad you doing it because they'd come for my ass like that motherfucker. You heard what he said. He against the community.
Oh gosh,
yeah,
that's a whole
yeah.
nother thing. They need
Put
to
it like
cut
this.
that.
Better you than me.
They need to cut that shit out. Some of that shit is so like when they wind up saying the same crap to each other that it's like ridiculous.
Yeah.
You can't be mad at somebody for saying it when y'all say the same shit to each other.
So,
If you want to stop somebody from saying it, then stop saying it altogether. Uh, that way people can understand that it's something that is derogatory. But it's stupid to me when people you can't say it, but you're saying it. You call your own people that. So it just doesn't make sense to me. But whatever. What do I know, right? So yeah. So these lawmakers, Not only did they steal the vote, but they came in and they're going to give themselves a pay increase.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
You know
know.
what? We need to have the ability to vote on their pay raise.
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's what my thought was when I was reading it. Like, why don't we vote whether or not they are allowed to get a pay raise? Like exactly like a job evaluation.
That's
So,
right.
upon your say your first year in Congress, you get a job evaluation. Upon your vote on your job evaluation, will determine whether or not you get an increase. If your job evaluation sucks because you didn't do no shit, and people get reports that you didn't show up to any votes, that you voted nay on a lot of shit that they voted you to
Mm.
vote yes in, then why would you be getting a pay increase? Especially when the same people that voted you in are unemployed or seeking employment
Mm-hmm.
or working check to check or however, whatever the situation is that your constituents, be them Republican or Democrat, because these Republicans, toothless as they are, act like they don't have any issues, but some of them don't even have a high school, let alone a middle school education, which is the reason why they're upset now. But that's a whole nother story. But anyway, yeah, so that, and lastly, so this week, just this past Monday, was the official federal holiday of the birthday of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And in Boston, the city where he met the great Coretta Scott King. I love that woman. She's just so graceful.
Mm-hmm.
They unveiled this statue, monument thing. I don't know what to call it, but I'm going to try to be nice. Once I find it, once it pops up, give me 1 second. I don't know where the hell it went. But this monstrosity, I can't do.
Oh, don't call it that yet. Do I have to explain it to you? Because it took me a minute to figure it out too.
No, I know what it is. I
Oh,
know
okay.
what it is, but it don't look like that. Because I feel like how the person felt when because I was like, what the hell is this? I was like,
can
you have to put something. I can't. I don't. It don't fit well in my spigot for it to just be like that.
Oh, he done clicked himself off. See what happens? You can't talk about Martin Luther King and think that there won't be any repercussions. Look at that. Look at God. Hopefully he'll find his way back. But if you were able to see if you were able to see, you say, wow, Melissa, yeah, he's a spiteful Lord. If you were able to see,
Okay, I'm back.
see what happened? See what happened?
I know
Look
it
at
does it to me all
God.
the time.
Always got
It
his
does it to
hand
me
up.
all the time. But that's fine. It's okay. I was looking for. Is it that? No. Is it that? No. Where'd it go? No, I don't know what that is. Where'd it go? See, the devil don't like ugly. But anyway, oh, here it is. Okay, so I'm just going to screen share and then I'll just play it so that way you'll see a visual of what this is. And you can let me know if I'm going too far. If you think, no, maybe I see it because I don't see it. It don't look right to me. They could have picked something else. Personally, is my thought. But what do I know? Where we at? Here, and we are. Nope. Nope. Okay. You don't have the little share thing anymore. Nope. That's
Was StreamYard changed up on it?
yeah, they did. Of course.
Well, anyway, I'm just glad that they have a statue that's more representative of the people of the country, and they took down all those damn Robert E. Lee. I think every state had a damn Robert E. Lee. I'm like,
Yeah, I
who's
mean,
this white man on the horse?
yeah,
I never paid him any attention.
well, of course we don't, but
Because
they do.
I remember when they snatched the one down here in front of the Baltimore Art Museum, dragging that shit down the street.
Not
I told
dragging.
you, I told you, I would go running in the morning, and I ran past. I said something's missing. I couldn't even tell you what was gone. That's how much I paid any attention to it.
Maybe it's this. Nope, it's not that either. I don't know what the hell they did with this shiznit. Oh, this sucks. They always changing shit. I don't know. But anyway,
So it
I
doesn't,
guess
it
I'll
doesn't
put it
allow
in
you.
nothing.
I was gonna say it doesn't
So
allow you to share anymore.
yeah, no. Unless I'm overlooking something, unless it's somewhere else how you share it. But I don't see it. See the camera stop, I see the settings.
You know what? You're absolutely right. I'm looking at it.
Yeah, no.
It doesn't have share
No.
file or share video. Yeah, you're right.
It has share file, but I couldn't
I don't.
file it.
I don't
So
even have that.
it would only populate the video. So anyway, this is a video. It's on Roland Martin's Twitter. It's the picture of the bronze statue of Coretta Scott King and Martin Luther King Jr. embracing during his win of the Nobel Peace Prize. Now, the piece is called The Embrace. However, without seeing the ring finger and the jewelry or the bracelet on Coretta Scott King's wrist and the cufflinks on Martin Luther King Jr.'s jacket arm, it looks not like people embracing. One profile side, to me, it looks like a penis. The other profile side looks like somebody giving somebody, either male or female, some kind of fellatio thing going on. It just looks crazy to me. I just don't. I don't like it.
That's really called abstract.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but I really don't like it. Like, I would have
That is
preferred
abstract.
if you were just gonna do that, then you would have put their faces on it.
No, unless you know where your mind is.
Well, let it be. I just don't. I don't like it. I don't like it. I mean, the symbolism of it, yeah, great. But I don't know. It's almost like trying to erase something that is like, nah. Put their faces on it.
Patty got doggy style.
Yeah, I mean, it looks crazy. It looks crazy.
I couldn't at first I couldn't figure out what it was, but it's one of those. It's a 360. You have to actually walk around the whole sculpture to actually get a general idea of what it is supposed to be.
No.
But
No.
it just doesn't translate well on, for a photo, video. You really need to move around,
and not even a large scale. Maybe I could see a small scale. Maybe you could see it better, or it may kind of
look. As long as it took away the white man on the horse, I don't give a shit. And it's brown, okay, and it's brown. It's not the classic white stone.
Right. Well, yeah. That
and plus, too, when you're used to looking at statues, especially here in the United States, they're always of figures.
Right.
That type of thing.
Yeah.
We very seldom do abstract art. I mean, without the head or whatever, you would never know that it was two people embracing, just the arms embracing each other over the shoulders.
But would you look at it and know that it's Martin Luther King and Coretta Scott King?
No.
That's my issue.
Is there a photo? Yes, it's on Google.
Yeah.
You can Google it. And when you first look at it, it's just like a brown. What is it?
Yeah, it's just like, what is it? What is it? Is it a bean? Is it what is it?
But but if you were over in Europe, I think your mind would be open enough to kind of look at it a little differently.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because we see statues. You actually see things that look like things. Very seldom you'll see a lot of abstract art. And
Right.
plus,
No, that part is
you would
true.
go by we're just used to saying if it's a person standing here holding this, whatever, you know exactly what it is. But just actually see what something is supposed to represent, and you have to be in that mindset. Like Melissa, when you take a hit, you're in that mindset. Your mind is relaxed. See, because sometimes sometimes you overlook shit because your mind is always looking for something. You're looking for it to represent or look like something. You're looking for that reference point.
Yeah, but
you do. You really have to study it. But now that everybody knows what it's supposed to be, they'll actually see it because now that is in their mind. That is supposed to be two people embracing.
Well, speaking of the King's legacy,
it could have been called. It could have been called side piece. No, but anyway.
I mean, that too. I mean, I just didn't get it. I was like, okay, of all the things, but okay. And speaking of ministers of the King family, Raphael Warnock, who is the minister of Ebenezer Baptist Church, the church where the King family pastored for many, many years, has released a children's picture book called Put Your Shoes On and Get Ready.
For the bullshit.
Which hits the shelves. They hit the shelves last week. But because, of course, we were not on last week because I think this was Friday. So the book is already out. Raphael Warnock has made history, of course, back in 2020, being the first African-American elected in the U.S. Senate from the state of Georgia. And so upon that, and then with his midterm battle with Herschel Walker, which shouldn't have been.
I'm still waiting for his next book, though.
What would the next book be?
Herschel, here's a who.
Herschel, here's a who. Stupid.
Who's over here?
No, it's more like Herschel, eyes could read too. That's
what you want to be? You want to be a werewolf or a vampire?
Eyes could read too, Herschel. And I just think it's ridiculous. But shout out to Reverend Raphael Warnock for his first children's book, Put Your Shoes On and Let's Get Ready to Go. Yeah, and it's a picture book, so Herschel Walker should love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he can read it to all his children.
Yes, he could.
The ones that actually made it here.
You mean not the ones in the napkins?
Yeah, in the napkins.
Or esophagus.
Or in the clinics. We's all Herschel's children. We's everywhere.
A deeper dabba deeper day. Noah Heavy's probably had some booty holes too. He looked like he would know the difference.
No, would he care?
Not publicly. Publicly.
Yeah, people do things in the dark that they won't talk about in the light.
All in the darkness. But yeah, so that's
the
all.
The darkness.
The darkness is coming. That's all I have, except for this. I'm trying to see who sent me this. Somebody sent me this on my Instagram, and please forgive me. Plus, I don't even know if you wanted me to tell you that you sent me this, but it was funny. I thought it was funny, so I am going to share it. And thank you for sending it. This is when you need to re-up on a different type of security because this didn't make no sense. Take a look. Yes.
Oh, that bar is broke.
Shantine, what you doing here?
See your drama.
No, but wait. She wasn't even running.
No, but she was gonna roll over some asses. I tell you that much. You get all that up, you get speed on that. Yeah, she ain't had to run. She just
That
as you
was some
saw through that
momentum.
door. As you saw with that door.
She had to build up some momentum to get through the door.
Mhm.
But I mean, it was just like, girl, where was you sliding to? Was it that serious? Poor
And she
thing.
got away, and she's still moving.
She did, and she is still getting along, hitching it right along. Just an absolute mess. All right, so let's just get right into it because, of course, this is going to be a short night because I got some last minute reviewing to do for tomorrow's program. From the test tomorrow morning.
Oh, that's right. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's right. So I finally got it. So
somebody had to crack them books.
Yeah, well, I've been cracking it for a while, so it's just will be a light.
We talking about books now. We talking about books.
You know what? Anyways, all right. So let's just get right into it.
Who said that? Who said that? Who said that? Who had been saying that? Who said that? Who said that?
And I'm sure that's the line that you use all the time. Let's get right into it.
Yes, of course. That's how it happens.
Shit. Motherfucker on a roll tonight. I'm awake.
We get straight into it. Ain't no game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Straight curve, whatever.
Only foreplay I know is Connect Four. That's it. It's just straight to it. Who's got time for the games? No, but in all seriousness, it has been a week or a weekend on these YouTube streets and elsewhere. Where to begin? And trust and believe this is just my opinion, and don't take it fully to heart because a lot of it I haven't really like deep dive research because I don't believe in that. I just think I don't pay that stuff that much attention.
No, some of that shit wasn't even worth going that deep for.
No, it really wasn't. It was almost like people dangling carrots to make people believe that something was bigger than what it was. All right, so let's start with the most recent. Well, let's start with the latest. Then we'll go to the most recent stuff that's like newly popping off that I can recall. And if anybody has anything, I'll click over to the chat so I can see. And then maybe, they'll be like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. So, all right. First, this whole situation with Jaguar, right? That's all I'm gonna say about that. I just prayers go out to her, of course, to get the help she needs to kind of gain herself back. But a lot of that just screams something not there. Like, granted, a lot of people talked about possession and the devil and this and that and the other. And sometimes we got to cut all that shit out and just call a thing a thing. Sometimes mental illness is just that, mental illness, and untreated, undiagnosed, or not being on a continuous medication can lead to things of this nature. From video clip that I did see upon her getting upset at her husband for all the whatever the backstory is about that, a lot of that is alleged. I don't think anybody was there to really know what the conversation which led to him leaving the place to kind of, I guess, get some breather, and then them following him to the barbershop and her having the deceased son's ashes and sprinkle them on the people and tell the people they all gonna die, and then put them on her face. I don't know. I can't, and I don't like to not, kind of feel people or be sensitive to people in their pain and time. But part of me also knows that she knows how this YouTube thing works.
Mhm.
And what brings the attention, what brings in the numbers, what would bring
What
people.
brings what brings in that check at the end of the
Yeah,
month?
right. And what would really turn it up. And of course, something like that would turn it up. Granted, you'd have to, do a lot of the extra on the back end to prove that you are mentally sane and all this kind of stuff. But as far as while it's happening, you are trending and people are talking about you. Hey, just ask Wiley. He did the same thing.
After they stole that woman's equipment.
So people find it lucrative. People find it lucrative to do that, but it comes with a cost. It comes with a consequence. One, you are forever having to be evaluated because this is on you. Granted, you could play it up for, when you cut your camera on and you cut your lights on, you can play it up. But at the end of the day, when you cut it off, you got to deal with that. Like it really is a real thing. So I say all that to say, one, yes, mental illness is real. We need not to stop playing around with it and just, kind of pacifying people off as, oh, they're just not all there upstairs. No, something could be seriously wrong, and we need to stop, running with this. Oh, it's a demon. It's the devil. It's not the spirit of the person that I know. Yeah, bipolar people can be bipolar. Schizophrenic people can be schizophrenic. They can, display different types of people and things right before your face. So yeah, it can be something different. Note that mental illness is real and it needs to be definitely taken seriously. Other than that, moving right along from that, as far as her husband is concerned, I hope they either he finds some clarity to either, support and stay with, or, maybe it's time to, as the song goes, take a bow, the night is over, take a bow and go on about your business. I mean, was this husband number 3?
I mean,
it's just like,
sometimes you have to give them that ultimatum and show them what they actually look like.
Yeah, I don't know. And sometimes you watch somebody long enough and you'll see the cracks. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, this could have been a cracked moment that we just got to see openly. Granted, as far as the young man involved, I mean, he's a typical young person that don't have nothing, that expects everybody to like give him something because the universe owes him something because of whatever people have always supported and kind of lent a hand to, or whatever. I mean, especially in a lot of the community, especially this one, you see a lot of them young people, them hobosexuals, them homeless, it's just like, you don't have a place, you don't have nothing, and here's somebody with something, and you will mooch off of that till the very last drop. I mean,
a leech, that's all.
Yeah,
just sucking off the tit.
Pretty much. And it's like, when things go left, then it's, oh, I don't know where to go, but I'll find my way because the universe looks out for me. No bullshit. You always make sure that you're never responsible. You never hold the mantle of responsibility because it's always, oh, well, I'm on to the next situation, instead of standing in whatever it is and dealing with the consequences as they are. Now, granted, I'm not saying that they had a perfect marriage because I don't know shit about their marriage, because obviously if it was so perfect or so put together, they wouldn't have ended up in this predicament. However, it's all about accountability and taking accountability for one's actions. And that's all around for everybody. And I think everybody has a part to play in this, in that little bit of saga. But I hope in people having separation, it brings clarity and people moving forward with the right mindset and attitude to be productive and not, wallow in this bullshit. I think it's unfortunate bullshit because, again, granted, a lot of people have, leaned on her for a lot of the entertainment gossip or what's going on in the industry. And my whole thing was, I'm not knocking what she may or may not know. I don't know. But the critical side of me would think, well, if you know all this and you're that connected to know that much information about people who are in the industry today, right now, why you look like that? Why haven't you not had an album or anything? You walking around with a haircut looking like Armand Wiggins. Why? Because if you're that connected, you would still be in there. Granted, you don't have to, really go there and participate. There are tons of fabulous, great artists that go unnoticed, under the radar, that are ultimate, like fabulous singers, and songwriters and rappers and all these things, but they don't fully participate in the BS of the music industry, and they seem to still make it and actually get their stuff out there. So
and she has that advantage anyway, that she knows what it's about. She can do her own projects. I'm sure there's still enough people who would work with her if her talent really speaks for itself.
This is all I'm saying. So it's like, the math ain't mathing for me, but it's okay. That's just my opinion, and I'll stick with it. However, I do wish that she does, get the help she needs, and is able to move on and be healthy and happy. And that's her husband, and whoever this third wheel is. Whatever. Get yourself a job. Depend upon yourself, not other people.
There might have been a job.
Well, that too. Find yourself another profession.
You never know. Gig work.
Just absolutely crazy. So, okay. In other news, other YouTube stuff going on around here.
Does it classify as news?
No, it doesn't. Let's see what else. You want to talk about that other thing with the whole Kimmy situation, and people still talking about the other person, whatever that man's name is, producing receipts, because Kimmy has the receipts. Kimmy has produced receipts, and we're still waiting for someone else to produce receipts. We all know that in this make-believe world of YouTube, people will claim to have something or claim to know something of someone and not really know the truth, and people will still run with it and promote it as actual fact, even if they quote unquote call themselves trying to be funny. Like in instances, like I just the other day, someone was like, "Oh, with your peg leg," and I'm like, "But I don't have one." And, okay, so I miss the funny in that, but people do, and it's like I just don't. Obviously, the person doesn't have receipts. If they had them, they would put them out. I mean, so it's like, move on. To keep festering or keep. I'm waiting for this person to pull out a receipt. They don't have any. Common sense would be able to tell you that. Common sense would be able to tell you that if a person had receipts, they would have done one of two things: put it out before the other person put theirs out, so they could have the upper hand, and or put them out right after one person put them out to debunk anything that the one person has put out. The fact that no receipt has been displayed will let you know that he doesn't have anything, or the receipts he does have reflect the same receipts that have already been shown, which would show him probably trying to swing his little meat around to get some attention. And if that's not the narrative he's trying to put out there, then obviously he's not going to show his receipts. Common sense. So moving right along. Upon that, I will say this. Uncle Tim, please stop yelling so much, because I feel like you're going to have a heart attack yelling and screaming. Just try to stay calm. That's just the word. That's just what I have to say.
Yeah, because Lord knows if you have it, Brian. Brian, he'll loop that shit.
Oh my gosh, it's so horrible. I feel so scared. But other than that, with all this going on recently with this Tasha K claiming she has receipts on alleged misconduct from Reverend Dr. Larry Reed. Have we not learned our lesson though? And it's not even about caping, but I'm just like, without actual factual receipts, not something that we've already heard, saw, talked about months and years ago, but like hard concrete, new evidence that you have. Why would you even utter anything? You're already dealing with $4 million to pay out to someone for putting out the same kind of allegations about someone, and then you had to pay up, which you still have yet to pay.
That's crazy. Because I tell you, if somebody blew my ass up like that, you would never have to worry about me. To have the bag, then to lose the bag.
Then they got to pay the bag to somebody else. And then now you're going to think you're going to do that to people, and you think, well, because they don't have the Olgas or whomever else, because they don't have the backing of an industry to get lawyers, that there'll be easy prey to kind of make you, throw these accusations out here, and they won't come after you. Who won't?
Well, she's trying to climb that ladder again, trying to recoup.
But how can you do that?
You go after the smaller stuff. You start all over again. You go after the smaller stuff and think, I'll get these clicks and views up, and build my reputation all over again, and start from that end. She's starting from scratch all over again. Her husband needs to take. Where's her husband from? Nigeria, Ghana, I don't know, Ethiopia, I don't know, but they need to go back over there. I was wondering if she was still there, because after this whole thing, I don't know where the hell.
Rumor is she was trying to, and that bank account got frozen, so she had to, come back stateside.
Patty said, "Never, never land." You right?
Yeah, I mean, it just don't make sense to me. Like it just doesn't make sense. And upon this, is not even the deadhead.
Her husband should have jumped in that ass, because to go from all that they've built, and all he had to do is say, "Tasha, shut the fuck up. Stop talking about this."
Part of that I think was him too, because you got to think about it. If you're making the money and you're already doing it, the person who's riding along in the ride is gonna keep pushing you to do it. They ain't gonna really stop you, and then by the time they tell you to
sacrifice that much in the bag,
but by the time somebody tells you to stop, they done told you go so much that when they tell you to stop, are you gonna stop? And I think that's the crossroads they were at. He done pushed her so much to be like, yeah, go ahead. To the point where
they'll look at them. They over there in Ethiopia selling cell phones,
selling bean pies, looking stupid. Now, when he said stop, she wasn't going to stop, because she had, you pushed her so much to go. Mm-hmm. I mean, granted, even with the R. Kelly situation, her debacle in giving that whole interview has now possibly caused R. Kelly's whole case to crumble, where he may be being released from jail because of what she did.
No, but we know he did it because we saw the video.
But yeah, granted, we know he did it. But this whole thing with that whole interview with her claiming to actually know someone who's inside jail, giving her information, that person then being brought out and exposed and losing their job, that this whole kind of network thing was a real thing. You can make a guilty man be free in a couple months, because the new lawyer is definitely looking into this whole situation, and R. Kelly could be freed because of you. Because for some clicks and views. For what? You got people talking about, oh, Wiley coming back. Where did he go? He didn't go anywhere. He was still right here. He's always been right here. He's always been right here. But again, it's something to drag up and something to talk about, because he has recordings, which he always does, and sit here and record people when you're having conversation. That's why you got to, when you know somebody, you know them. That's it. I don't need to be around you, hang around you, be friends with you to know you. All I need is 2 seconds. It's just the cancer in me. Okay, cool. We got it. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah, you always take time to sit back and collect your material.
That's it. So it's who would really sit there and divulge anything to somebody like that? If I done seen you, watched you, literally, when I didn't know really who people were, total dismantle a friendship that you had with another YouTuber, recording a conversation, and then going back and then trying to do. I've watched you do it. So I'm not supposed to really remember what I'm watching. Okay. So remember, these people are who they are. This doesn't change. Granted, everybody's kind of, you following after somebody with the numbers just to kind of ride their coattails and get that. Not everybody's doing that. Not everybody's doing that. Seriously. Like, nah.
Well, at least Wiley got his camera and equipment before she went belly up.
Hell, she might be asking for that back. And as big as he's gotten, you would have thought he ate it. Shit. God damn.
Woo, with that says grow animal shirt on, boy. I was like, all I kept saying was, no, you don't wear, when you're that heavy, you wear solids. You don't wear stripes going in the opposite direction.
My God, today. But yeah, so with that, I'm just not I think accusations on anyone is definitely a serious game that you choose to gamble and play. Like we're talking about, you going to Vegas thinking you're going to sit in the high roller seats. You're taking a huge gamble on doing that, and then coming out of a situation where you've done the same thing and got raked through the coals. I think it would be time for you to reconsider your line of how you do things, because it's not lucrative for you. Because if YouTube stops your channel, then what? What you gonna have people go to Patreon and pay for the same stale stories that you pay their $12 for your stale stories? No. Just the whole thing is a mess. Now, granted, if there are victims out there, of course, prayers go out to them if they are. But at the end of the day, if they aren't, then people should stop accusing other people of doing certain things that they did not do. Because I just think that whole thing of the cancel culture and people just wanting to believe victims and then come to find out that during further research that there are no victims or these victims, it's too much. It's just a real sad situation that I think people are using to make money off of, and it's nothing to. If it has happened or any kind of situation happened, even not even talking about him or them, but anybody, it's a painful trauma that somebody has to live for with the rest of their lives. And then I think for some people to make fun or light of that and then utilize it as some way to make money or capitalize off of it is stupid. It really is stupid, but it shows their level of maturity and things of that nature, especially when a lot of these people have claimed to have been a victim of molestation or abuse or something like that themselves. That part I find to be extremely egregious. When some of those same people have talked about being victims of molestation and things of that nature and can do that to another individual just because you didn't like what they did to you personally, it's a bit crazy. But you got what's coming to you. That's all I can say. Is whomever orchestrates all this, you definitely have something coming for you. Because I tell you, karma, she ain't gonna come when you want. She like God. She don't come when you want her, but she comes. She right on time, and that bitch is never late. That bitch is never late. When she come, I just feel bad for you. I just really feel bad. But anyway, I think that was that. I think so. Oh, yeah, and this other thing. True. I was over in Duchess Kelly Love's chat, which normally do. I'm working towards the end of my shift. He usually comes on, so I pop in and listen. And I was listening, and William Carruthers accused Sir King, without evidence, of hacking into his email or his Facebook or some mess. And I'm just like, do you know how many people could try to hack into your email? Women from other countries who are acting like they want to get with you, who are actually men behind those screens, trying to get into your apps and things of that nature, could have hacked into your email. Why would you pick Sir King of all people to be the one you're accusing to have hacked into your email? And then I thought it to myself and said, how ironic that at this point right now, just yesterday, you accused Sir King of hacking into your email. But mind you, 2 weeks ago, you was over at the Avatar Nation area, saying how much you enjoy Sir King and Lemon and how they were the Ed McMahon and Johnny Carson of YouTube Night, and you loved them, and you wanted to bury the hatchet and let bygones be bygones and go into the new year afresh, right? You just said that.
Was he on the naughty list? Did he not receive?
I don't know what the fuck it was, but all I know is the next time when he what I noticed was he was Sir King was over in the Jungle Bush, and they were dragging him, and for some reason he enjoys that, beat me more, that kind of stuff with the animals. I don't get into that. But
kind of sadistic.
Yeah, he kind of sadistic stuff. He likes to be beat with, he likes the animals to beat on him and stuff like that, which is, cool. Each his own. That's your fetish. So he did that, and right after that, all of a sudden now, Sir King has hacked your computer. Get the fuck out of here. And then you sat there on Justice Kelly Love the whole live and said he makes up stuff to be relevant. Words that came right out of his mouth. Then when Ronnie Q checked his ass, which he did excellently, he didn't have nothing to say but a lot of Now don't get me wrong, we cool. I don't have no issue with you, but a thing is a thing, and I just call a thing, and that was some bullshit. That was some utter bullshit. Just to be on the right side or carry favor with other folks. Like, yo, you too old to play that game. If you don't like somebody, don't like them because you don't like them. Do not accuse them of doing something so nefarious as breaking into your emails just so you can make who feel satisfied and happy when you don't damn near know who broke into your emails, because I'm sure you don't even know how to even begin to identify who broke into your email, let alone, I'm sure you probably don't even know how to send an email correctly.
Melissa asked, was he drunk? Was he drinking?
I don't know. I have no idea, but I just thought that was. I mean, you could accuse the man of a whole lot of things, but why would you go there? What was the point of taking it to that place? I was so over it. I was like, yo, what the hell are you doing? I get people like, well, it doesn't matter how old he is. It does though, but it really does. When this ain't even an apparatus that you should even be familiar with. The fact that you are, okay, gives you a little bit of kudos, but the fact that you're acting like someone, especially in this sector, at least 20 times your senior, and you're 70-something years old, get the fuck out of here.
Wow.
Get the fuck out of here. You can't find pick me bride somewhere, and that's probably what hacked your shit. You was over there trying to find a pick me bride, okay, a winner chicken dinner, and it was Rafiki who was behind that screen. It wasn't Alexis, okay? And they were trying to get your coins, and that's what it was. But no, I highly doubt it was Sir King trying to hack into your shit. Highly. And if it was, he's a talented brother, because I can't see the purpose of you wanting to hack into your system as if you're that popular, you're that poppin'.
What do you have? What do you have?
That was my whole thought in my head. Like, so he would hack into your system. Who are you?
You want to get your dick pics?
Who are you? To see what? Like, come on. Like, are you serious? Like, do you hear yourself? That's all I could. I was just sitting at work like, these people are so lucky I can, because I just have so many questions. And my first question is like, why you? What makes you special enough that he would hack you? For what?
Melissa, hell nah.
Yeah, right. If you don't sit your dusty ass somewhere, you ain't seen it since I can't tell you how long. It's been at least 20 years since you've seen it. Get the fuck out of here, sir. Go sit down.
Melissa, girl, what you doing up so late?
Right. I just find it absolutely ridiculous. But I think that was it. That was it. I just had to get that off because I didn't think that was fair at all. If you don't like him or if you don't like something he said, then cool. But don't do that. And then come to find out that whole situation, the brief little situation with Lemon and Sir King, he orchestrated that again just to be disruptive is a bit ridiculous coming from a 70-something-year-old man. It just is. It really is. And again, the funny thing is, a lot of these straight men always in the pit talking about, and not saying that he has, but a lot of these, I've just noticed that a lot of these straight men in here always talk about gay men and feminine and all this other kind of stuff. And they do a lot of the most, excuse me, women, but the most bitch shit that I have ever seen. The most straightest men in some of these places do a lot of the most girliest stuff. That you be like,
straight men gossip.
But this is what I'm saying.
We gossip hard.
Yeah,
we gossip hard.
Right. And it's just really, it's
shit,
really
I ain't gonna lie. I sure do. I listen to all that shit because it's information. Because it's information.
Right.
I ain't gonna lie. I listen to all that shit.
Right. But it's one thing to be listening, but it's a whole other thing to be peddling it around.
Yeah, now that's the difference.
Now, when you peddling it around, I'm starting to look at you like, okay,
unless it serves your advantage.
Oh, okay.
Something that will work for you in the long run.
Oh, say Sister Williams. That's what I see. I see Sister Williams. When you start peddling bullshit around, then you start looking. I start looking at you like Sister Williams, because it just makes no sense. It's like, why are you so invested? There's no reason for you to be so invested in the destruction of somebody else because other people don't like that content creator. If you don't have a problem with it, stay the fuck out of it. Because you can't at one breath say that you enjoy them and that they're the best content creators. They're like Ed McMahon and Johnny Carson and blah, 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 blah. But then in every breath that you get an opportunity, when the fever comes up where people, come at him, it's, oh, let me join the bandwagon and come at him too. You look like a fucking fool. You just really do. And there's no other way I can respectfully just say that, but you look like a damn fool.
Now, Patty, Patty said that she can attest that her husband gossips.
Yeah, the barbershop is full of gossip. It is full of male.
Oh, not just the barbershop.
Well, not just the barbershop. I know, but I'm just giving a thing. But yeah, it's bad. But it's a difference for me is when you start peddling it, when you pushing it around and you going here, you going here, you going there, you doing this. That to me, I start looking at you like I said. I start looking at you like sister, because you doing too much. Now you sounded like, what was that? The character from Living Color? She was like, da-da-da, but you ain't heard that from me. Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Sister
Yeah.
Jenkins or something, whatever her name is. You start giving me Sister Jenkins vibes when you going around saying all this shit, and then you have no proof, but you're just going around saying it because it sounds good, or it's you thinking it's gonna bring traction. Come on, man. Come on. Of all the things you could have said about the man, to say that he hacked your emails or he hacked your Facebook account, the fuck out of here.
Yeah, but the reasoning why?
As if you somebody to hack into. Who's interested?
Everybody wants to be more important than what they are.
It's like self-awareness is not self-aware. Like I don't understand. Like people are not self-aware. You're not that popular. You're not. These people let this stuff get to their head. Just because a few people know you on here, okay, but they don't. Nobody want to hack into your. Nobody here wants to hack into your email. Nobody here cares to know.
No, but overseas, they think it's a cash cow.
Right. They just looking for a green card. So maybe be careful on the site you go to or the friend request you accept. For people going, oh, you so fine, you so gorgeous. I'm looking for a husband or whatever they're telling you. Be mindful.
Me so horny.
Right?
me so horny. Me love you for 15 minutes.
We love you a long time.
For 15 minutes. Me 15 minutes, slap it, rub it down. That's it.
Oh my gosh. When they just looking for a green card. Know the difference. The difference. Just absolutely ridiculous. I can't. But yeah, I really can't. But with that, I think that was it. That's it. I think. Yeah, I think that was it.
You've gotten it all out.
Yeah, I think I got it all out. Everything that I kind of
like purged.
Yes. Yeah, because I think it'd be ridiculous to me. It really do. I'd really be sitting there like very thought-provoking and just be like, but that doesn't even make any sense. Why would people even believe that? And whoever the fuck Bubbles is, go do something with yourself. Get a job. And I know you think it's funny or whatever you say in the chat, you think it's funny, but it's just stirring up shit for no reason. If I'm not mentioning anybody in the mist, just leave it be. Because I really don't cut it out. Because it's ridiculous. Like you're irrelevant, just like other people. So just sit to enjoying the commentary in the comments. And stop trying to be a star, which you're not. But anyway, yeah, that's all I had. That is really all I had. Yeah, I heard all I had. I am purged. I am completely.
You've completely purged. Okay.
Yeah. Any movies or anything?
No, not come across. Can't have come across.
Yeah, no, me either. Let's see.
Well, it's January. It's kind of dry.
Yeah, it's about as dry as Sister Williams Poom Poom. Just dry. I just can't believe that. I don't like that. Like, I really don't like when people make up things about people. It's like, if you're going to say something, please make sure it's true. I just that is a pet peeve of mine, and maybe it's just thing in me, but I just cannot stand a person who wants to placate in falsehoods. And even if you're trying to be funny or be entertaining, at least let it have a ring of truth to it. Don't do that to kind of
at least have some humor.
Yeah, you're going to discourage people from wanting to be a part of his platform or even go into maybe something that he may be talking about behind the scenes as far as tech may be concerned or anything of that nature, because you don't put that out there. You know what I'm saying? Like that, just not, definitely not a good look, but it is what it is. And then when you get dragged, like crazy from them to, then you go around other people's platform crying about how they shouldn't have done that to you. You're an older man and and you really respect them and save it.
No, you can't cry age or pretty much anything on this platform.
No, you can't, especially when you come
everybody's
for people.
equal. You're all on an equal footing.
That's it. When you coming for people, that's it. Expect to get got back. So it is what it is. It is what it is. When you going to get, expect to be got back, and that's just be prepared for it. But I just think that was
there's some people out here that got a lot of time to be gotten.
That's it. That's it. That's it. Too much time. Too much time. Find yourself a little part-time job because I know you might need it. Secondary job, 2-3 hours, something. Be a greeter. You want to go meet people? You want to be real inclusive? You want to do that? Be a greeter. Walmart can use them.
Oh, you just asking to get the bug, aren't you? Be a greeter.
Well, I mean, you looking to meet people, and you know, while you on the internet trying to look for a wife, there's one right in Walmart for you. There's right there. Right there, next to the produce section by the chicken.
Me so horny. The words, everyone who's looking for an international wife.
Me love you long time.
How many? Yeah, how many English words do you speak?
Right.
3 words. Me so horny.
And yes.
Yes.
Everything.
No.
I don't know. He look like a man. Just so sad. I just like poor thing. Just that didn't pan out the way he hoped, I'm sure. But it was foolishness to me.
Have you quick change of subject? Well, I'm thinking about it. Have you come across any ideas of how you want to do the nightcap?
Yes, I think I'm going to move it because I know we spoke about this before, but I think I am going to move it to the Patreon platform. That way it's a little more freeing than it would be here. Yeah, that's really where my head is. As far as moving it that way, there's more freedom. I could share more things. We could really discuss things without kind of making it PG-13. And we don't necessarily have to get X-rated because that's not really where I want to go. But I definitely want to have an open conversation and dialogue about different things. So I definitely am moving it there. And of course, the vocal part of all that will be on the podcast Cap's Corner when we do it. I'll upload the audio version so you can listen in your car or
at work,
wherever you may be. So yeah, that is the plan to get that up and running, and just keep doing it. And thank you all for listening and tuning in and stopping by, and of course for all of my regular day ones that we have been family. Thank you so much for always just sticking by me and riding tough regardless of the wave, because everybody has had a wave, even me, for whatever reason.
What it is.
Huh?
You know what it is. You acting dumb. They just want to see them pics.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't know, because a lot of, even before that, it was like I didn't ask that. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't like, well, show them. I don't care. It was like somebody took it upon themselves to be like, here, take this, show this, and it's like, why would you do that? Why would you? Especially with somebody that I never shared that with. You know what I'm saying? They'd be like, it'd be different if you would have wanted to do it. Then I'd be like,
you could track
I shared it with you, so you would be the one that would get it. So then, if you exposed it, cool, I get that.
No,
but you give it to somebody
when they weren't expecting the response as, "Oh yeah, that's me."
right. Or even for people to go, will they still go, oh yeah, I heard about that. Oh yeah, I got to see that. What's your Twitter? But you wasn't expecting that. What you expect people to go, oh, I did not believe that. Oh my God, I'm never going to watch his channel again. I can't believe he did that. That is so, he doesn't even give me that.
Mhm.
I'm grown.
See you next week.
Right. See you next week, and see you next week after that, and see you next week after that, and see you 500 videos later. Hi, still here. What happened? Nothing.
Yeah, Patty goes, let's go R.
Yeah, right. Right.
Yeah, you
Um,
do have you're kind of restricted on YouTube
yeah, yeah,
for
very.
for certain
Yeah.
adult
I mean,
topics.
even if you do put that it's going to be adult thing,
Mhm.
they still will restrict it from advertisers and things of that nature. So it's usually not worth it. I mean, and again, I really don't make that much on here anyway, just because everything we talk about every time, it's always something. I'm
Mhm.
always sending it back for review, and it's either just going yellow, or if I'm lucky for it to go green after they done already ran their ads, then
And
they'll
and
run
that's
it
the
green.
surprising part is the fact that it's politics, the things that you talk about.
Yeah,
It's not like pure adulterated, just
yeah, I made
triple
up
X
bullshit.
stuff,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
And I'm like, damn, how you get flagged for that kind of for what? It would really makes you think, these platforms are geared,
Mm-hmm.
to really control what
Yeah,
information comes out.
yeah. Especially when you from the gate come out with that, and it's like
Mhm,
I was even told by one content creator to just can this one and start over.
mhm.
And you because this one is shadow banned. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that because I feel like it's important. Like, granted, even if 3 people watch, 4 people, it's important that we know what's going on in our world, what to do about it, and what to look for. I mean, even in voting, it's important. You see
It's
where you're
infor
voting.
it's informational,
Yeah.
and they don't want you to have that information, as you can tell,
No.
by them trying to restrict you.
Right. Very true. So and information is power. Once you got it, nobody can take that from you.
Mhm. Yeah, now
So
what you do with it is
yeah.
your business.
Yeah, right. What you do with it, it can change the tide. However, knowledge is power in all its forms. So, um, the best way to, uh, kind of combat the ignorance is with pure knowledge, and that is what we try to deliver. And yeah, it's objective, and yes, you can Google it and read it for yourself. But the fact that we can sit here and actually talk about it and have open dialogue about it and really go further and do research. And if there's something that I miss, somebody else may have read and picked up on something else. That's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like that is okay. That's what we're here for. Uh,
Mhm.
and so it is.
Patty said Patty said maybe she's weird, but she doesn't see the thrill in dick pics.
Yeah, I mean,
You know what? When it's just nude shots, period. I think if you know somebody, or you've had a conversation with them, I think it's like,
mhm.
oh, okay, you in your mind, oh, I wonder what they look like naked, that type of thing. And
Yeah,
it's like,
but I
well,
just
what did they? It's like, wow, what do they really have? Well, I knew that he was hiding something. That's that's what that's what most of it is. I knew that they
yeah,
were hiding something. Or
yeah.
my goodness, it's just that thought in your mind that uh I wonder what they look like with no clothes on. And that's pretty
Yeah,
much it.
I don't know, and that's the thing, and I don't know if it was maybe because people thought, or maybe some people thought that I was maybe a goody two shoes kind of situation, but I've never
Well,
presented.
you are a Christian. I don't know. You might be Kojic now. You might have gone to the.
No, I was born Baptist.
Oh, you're
Uh,
born Baptist. Oh, okay. Well,
uh,
they got issues too.
yeah, they do, but Jesus, it ain't no, it ain't like
No,
that. But
not like that. Yeah, that shit. Wow.
yeah,
But
and I think too, because of the name, people thought, oh, Christian, he's not, but
well,
no, that is
in
my
a way,
name.
the way you carry yourself.
Yeah, but that's just me.
Period.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's not
Yeah.
even anything to do with it. That is just me. And if you don't like that, okay, cool, don't watch. But it has nothing to do with the name. Christian is my name. So that is the reason why. And it just fit with the C and the C, and it was just like, okay, cool. But it had nothing to do with, again, anything. Me
Mhm.
thinking I'm better, or I look better. I mean, I happen to look better than some, but some look better than me, and that's okay.
Yeah, they still want to see level-headed people naked, though. That's all.
Yeah, right.
That's
I
all it
mean,
boils down
yeah,
to.
that's it. It's like, I don't know what you thought you were going to do, but what did you? It actually did the reverse, and it drew far more people than you thought it would detract. So
Oh
thank
yeah,
you once again for the stupidity with that
Patty.
backfire, and I think that's why it became so quiet from going, from the back and forth. Once it was like, okay, it's not helping, it's not doing exactly what you thought it would do, because people aren't leaving; they're actually really coming to see.
No, but
Well,
it's
what is
different.
really going
It's
on?
different. It all depends on the mindset of the people who are saying it. Their older crowd, what went things that happened back in your day, where it's like, oh my goodness, you have a scarlet letter type thing.
Mhm.
It's like everybody's showing their ass. It's
Yeah,
like big deal, especially during the time of the 2 years we had.
right.
Everybody was in lockdown. Because you had a couple content creators that
That did
did
OnlyFans.
their OnlyFans,
Yeah,
and I was like, "Wow!"
they
It's
were
like,
on public transportation.
yeah, it's just the
This,
stuff that they
I
were
mean,
doing on there, and
you see it clear as day. DC Metro. You're like, what are you? Are you
yeah,
okay?
but you weren't shamed or anything. It's like,
Right,
okay, it's like, oh yeah, they got so and so, and then that was
right,
it. It's like, oh, let me go see. Oh yeah, yeah, that's him. Okay,
yeah, right.
yeah, that's her. Yeah, that's her. Yeah, that's all of them.
Yeah,
And it's not you don't have that stigma that you had back in the day. And
yeah. No, I get that. And two, it's standing in what you've done. You know what I'm saying? And being
Mhm.
accountable for whatever it is. Stand up in it. If you did it, you did it. And I think
Yeah, it's
a
like
lot of
you did all three of them, and it's like, yeah, you should
yeah,
try it. It was and
right,
people are actually
yeah.
you're
And
not
I think
you're not going to hell. You're,
yeah,
you're not going to hell, believe
yeah.
me.
I mean, the only hell you would be in is the one you put yourself in by,
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
condemning
Your own
yourself
your own your
for
own personal
things
hell.
of being free and living in your freedom.
Mhm.
Granted, yeah,
Just like you can limit yourself. You
right,
can
exactly. I was just
you
about
can
to say that.
incarcerate
Like
yourself.
you can incarcerate yourself or be born with limitations, but it doesn't have to limit you to
Mhm.
your life or your life experiences. It's only what you allow. And I've
Mhm.
never been one to allow anything to stop me from doing what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it. And if I couldn't do it, I figured out a way that I could do it where it was safe for me to do. And that goes back to riding bikes and roller skating and all kinds of craziness
Mhm.
that we do.
Well,
Like,
you know what too? They don't think
Mhm.
that all people are sexual.
Yeah, well, that too.
Do you
But
know?
well, trust and believe somebody likes it. So it is what it is. A lot of some peoples do like it, and it
Mhm.
just is what it is.
So, like I said, show me your stretch marks and I'll show you mine.
Right. I mean, I don't know. I guess.
But that's what it boils down to. They just don't see people, and that's
Yeah,
all people, as they are sexual beings, and they just think,
yeah,
"Oh my goodness, I would never thought." Oh, so and so's in a wheelchair. Well, so what?
yeah.
You know,
Right.
they're paralyzed from the neck down, but
Yeah.
the tongue works.
Right. Right. Or whatever
You
works.
know,
Work.
you make it work.
And
They
that's the whole
and then
crazy.
and they never think of it like that. You just think
Yeah.
that, oh wow, oh poor me. No,
Yeah.
poor
Right.
you is
For you,
knocking
because you
boots.
don't. Yeah. Right. Because you the one sitting there without. So I mean, it's like
Mhm.
when you think it's a joke, like okay, but you sitting over there lonely with no one.
Yeah.
And I, and I'm traveling, meeting new people and some old people. Whenever you go to a say like, oh yeah, I'm here. Da-da-da. It's like, okay, live your life. Okay,
Mhm.
live your life.
That's right. That's the main thing. Live your life.
Yeah.
Enjoy yourself.
Yep. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for another phenomenal time and show. Brother Nate, thank you so much. Any parting
Right.
words for the peoples?
Everybody stay safe. Do what you got to do.
Yep.
Save that money. Somebody know. Let me know if
Please.
y'all got an egg hookup.
Mm.
That shit's expensive.
Everything, eggs, juice, water, everything.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Everything is
I bought a
really
4-pack of Red Bull, and it was like $10. I was like, wait a minute, that's
wow.
the case, the 24 case used to be $12. I
Wow.
was like, God damn.
I don't even drink those things, but that's
No, I'm gonna have to go.
wow.
Oh, shit, well, we might be able to afford water if it ain't
You,
tainted.
hey, you might have to you might have to go the natural route and find you an alternative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey there, Auntie Donna. How you doing?
Hey, Auntie Donna. Yeah, Auntie Donna gave Sister William a run for his money. Boy, he that Negro accused her of idolizing Sir King. She got on there and she went off, clean off. Okay. She let him have it. You definitely got to go watch it.
Okay.
So definitely check out Duchess Kelly Love last live that he did with Mr. Carruthers, and when Auntie Donna addressed him for calling her an idol worshiper. I was like, go
Okay.
ahead, Auntie. I said she
Okay.
killed it, but yeah, and he deserved it because he didn't even have to mention. There was no reason for him to even mention her name. He could have just said what he said and left particular people out of it, but he had to say her name, and so she addressed his ass as she should have.
Very good. Very good.
But hey, Auntie Donna, nice to see you as always.
Well, you know, conflict garners attention too. So
Yeah, of course. But
like I
that's
said,
but,
keeps you
but that's what
relevant.
he does it for. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing that irks me with people to do that. Instead of just being upfront, like that's what you do, that's what you do. But they're always trying to kind of scheme it as if that's not what you're doing, when clearly we see what you're doing. You're throwing it out there so you could be talked about. You're trying to make yourself relevant. How about you make yourself relevant spinning a record? Actually doing a quote unquote mashup that somebody was like, oh, did you hear that mashup that Sister William did? That shit was hot. But no.
Sister Williams.
That's what you will ever be for me. After that shit, you're Sister William. I don't give a goddamn. It's just Sister William for me.
Too gossipy, huh?
Just too much. And maybe it's just my top energy that just deflects off of that, but I can't. That's too much. Just too much for me. I can't do it. So it is what it is. But yep. That is all I got. But yeah, just everybody just be safe and be mindful. Like, things are changing. We're going into the winter months, and
we're in it. We knee deep in it.
Right.
It's strange.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was 50 degrees today.
Yeah, but I ain't mad.
Yeah, no, I'm not. No, me neither. You can stay like this for the rest of the winter. I'm okay. Global warming is a friend to an extent. But
if it's burning up your aluminum side, then it ain't.
Yeah, right. But as of right now, it's okay.
Real. Yeah, these storms are real intense now. These storms are really intense.
Yeah.
I mean, tornadoes. I mean, back-to-back tornadoes at nighttime.
Yeah.
Just keep a little emergency kit, a little emergency bag with your, some little overnight, some overnight things and some, medications and things, stuff you can grab quick and throw in there, because between the flooding and the tornadoes and just in general, I'm just surprised we haven't had any blizzards.
Right.
But it's so, like I said, February hasn't gotten here yet. We usually get really cold in February here. But other than that, everybody just stay safe.
Please do. Please do. And until next time, my beautiful people, peace.